Hello guys, welcome here to our 6th episode of Safety Communication and Talk. My name is Gert Hendricks, I'm a safety coach at FTS Safety, and this is Marlon. Today we would like to talk about safety management systems. In the past we have covered it intensively of what it is and how to implement it and what it's all about. But today we called in Marlon. Marlon is in the field, and his duty is to implement safety in the safety management system and on client site. So Marlon is the right guy for a lot of our answers to our questions that we have. And the first question I would like to ask Marlon is, what does a company need to be legally compliant?
Well, here it differs from industry to industry.
Okay.
Right? So your basic standard things that a company should have is it should have done risk assessments. Yes. For all the operations that's within his organization.
Yeah.
And with those risk assessments, it needs to be communicated to his staff.
Yeah.
He needs to appoint staff.
Yes.
He needs to make sure that they are trained to understand their duties.
Yes. Marlon, to start with your safety management system, what is the key personnel? Who is the most important people for you to start with?
Well, I think in most organizations, you sometimes do not have the CEO available.
Okay.
But it will be first prize if you can have the CEO available.
Yes.
And then obviously his senior management team.
Yes.
So like his senior operations manager, or his in terms of 16-2, his managers, his floor managers, his 8-1s and 8-2s.
Yeah.
Those are the key people that we need for the initial stages of that safety management system.
Okay, okay. Now I'm putting you on the spot here, and I'm really enjoying this now. But tell me, Marlon, if you're gonna start with a company, let's say FTS is your client.
Yes.
Okay, where will you start?
Well, my first point of contact will obviously be the person that's interested in having a safety management system put together.
Okay.
Right, and obviously he's got some directive maybe from his manager or his CEO.
Yeah.
So firstly, the first step would be obviously to set up a meeting.
Okay.
With the relevant stakeholders.
Okay.
To identify what are the needs.
Okay.
Okay, and then from there on, I should be able to ascertain what they actually want, so that I can deliver according to what they need.
Okay. And how do you make it compliant to the Act?
Well, the Act guides us in every way.
Okay.
So it all depends again on their business, their core business, and what the risks are. So depending on that will determine how I draw up their safety management system.
Yeah. You know what, Marlon, I've been in the field also for many years, and there's a lot of things that is extremely frustrating. So,
tell me about it.
So I want you to share your deepest grievances in your hearts down in the bottom where it's dark. And what frustrates you guys? What does a company need to do to understand to make this effective? This is your opportunity.
Yeah, well, you see, the organization would say, okay, we need a safety management system, which for them is a nice to have.
Yes.
Yes, we comply.
Yes,
we have all the documentation. If the Department of Labor comes here, we are okay. But little do they realize that having the documentation is one thing.
Yeah.
Implementing it is the next thing. And where the frustration comes in is that, I'm not an employee of their organization, so I'm more a support.
Okay.
So I will give them the relevant documentation and guide them on what needs to be done for them to be compliant.
Yes.
Now, what frustrates me is when I go back the next time on a visit, the appointments are not done. The people are not trained.
Yes.
So how can we move further on the implementation of the management system if the basis is not done?
Yeah, so the people actually need to understand it is a system, it's a program that runs on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. It's not just here's a document, tick, it's done.
Correct.
It is, and you know what, I can remember I've had a client once that says they called us in and we need to come and assess them, and they said they have lost their safety management system because the previous HR, when he left, he was spiteful and he took the safety file and now everything is gone. And my first line of thought is, luckily I didn't share it to the client, but my first line of thought was, if you can remove safety in your company by just removing one file, you never had safety.
100%.
You understand? And that is what clients need to understand.
Yes.
So tell me quickly, if you're going to go to a client and what would be the perfect client?
Well, the ideal client, which would make my life that much easier, if they come to the party. So if I go, for example, and say, okay, the first stage of implementation is reading your safety management system in terms of what does this file entail, what does this program entail, okay, and understanding it. And thereafter, if they don't understand, then I can clarify it for them. So that would be the first part. But the most important part thereafter is getting the appointments done. So if their manager and their CEO do the necessary appointments to the relevant people and people that want to be in the position, not saying that you will be the safety rep, you will be the first aider, you will do the fire.
Makes a big difference.
Because the person must want to do it, because then you'll get the buy-in. They'll do the inspections. They'll report unsafe conditions, they'll report unsafe acts. There'll be a pain, which is what we want.
You know what? I can remember I always told my clients is that practice makes.
Yeah, it makes perfect.
Well, the problem is if we start practicing stuff which is not perfect, then it becomes permanent.
Yeah.
So that is what our job is to make sure that what they practice is perfect.
Correct.
Before it becomes permanent.
Sure.
And now, last question, as the last thing is, what needs to happen in a safety management system on a monthly basis?
Well, as I mentioned, if you appoint the correct people, and I stress on the word correct people, and you train them accordingly in terms of their functions, they need to conduct the inspections on a monthly basis. Right? Some people will say, I've got a tag or I've got a lock on the first aid box, so I don't have to inspect it because the tag is not broken. But you wouldn't realize that sometimes that there's something in there that's been in for 6 months or 6 years and it's expired.
And you're not even allowed to lock it.
Correct. So if they do those inspections on a monthly basis and they find defects, your safety rep finds there's loose tiles, loose carpeting, the roof is leaking, or whatever risks or as they are. The fire guy finds that there's some issues with the fire extinguishers. That needs to be brought to the monthly safety meetings or a quarterly safety meeting for that matter. And that is where those issues need to be sorted out.
Okay.
So if that complete circle is fulfilled, then you shouldn't have a problem. Or if any problem, a minor problem.
And safety is actually then very easy if you start doing that.
Correct. That's it. And that's all that's requested from clients to do on a monthly basis.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. That's fantastic. Well, we have seen that to implement the safety management system then actually stands on two legs. It is the legal compliance, which is subjected to revision. That happens annually or every 2 years or whatever, whenever there's a change. And then your monthly revolving things, or bi-monthly, that actually need your inspections and your maintenance and your training and your inductions and so on, that happens ongoingly. So once you get that done, safety becomes part of your culture of your company.
And that's the thing, in terms of going back to that client that the HR took the file over. If the safety is entrenched in the people and if it becomes second nature to them, you don't need a file to direct you in what you need to do.
Then it's easy to replace that file.
Very easy. The person that's supposed to be doing it can write that file for you.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Marlon. I enjoyed it.
Pleasure.
Welcome to our safety talks, and hope to see you more here. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us with this safety talk this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment for us and let us know and see some feedback. If there's any topic that you want us to discuss, this is where we would like to do it. And I hope to see you guys next week. Thank you very much.